Yo, it's your boy Luak coming back at it again with another video. In this video, I will recap and review Pokemon Journeys episode 118, Ash Goes Into Battle versus Steven, as well as give my predictions for episode 119, Chloe and Eevee, The Miracle of Evolution. If you guys enjoy episode reviews as well as recaps each and every week, then I highly suggest you hit the like button and subscribe as it truly helps support the channel. As episode 118, we have officially hit 9,000 subscribers, so truly thank you, and I'm well past that now. Keep the final push as I approach 5 digits, which would truly make me lose it. But with all that being said, let's begin by recapping the events of episode 118. The episode begins with the narrator recapping the events of Ash vs Cynthia. Then we quickly move on to the final battle of the quarterfinals of the Pokemon World Coronation Series, Ash vs Steven. In the stands, Iris joins Go and Hop to watch the battle, and Hop is once again starstruck seeing the Unovan champion in front of him. Ash sends out Dracovish and Steven starts right away with his shiny Metagross. Dracovish goes on the offense with Water Gun while Metagross tries to speed up with Agility. Dracovish then goes for Vicious Rend, which connects, but Metagross throws him away with Psychic. It is at this point that Ash remembers Paul, whose Metagross also had Agility and Psychic, confirming his hunches that Paul purposely been using Champion Aces back in Pallet Town. For some reason, Steven switches Metagross for Aggron, and we see a lot of familiar faces watching Steven vs Ash from the Hoenn region. We got Jimmy, Kelly, Morrison, Vito Winstraight, Janet, Kane, Harriet, Professor Birch, Katie, Drew, Harley, and Tyson all in the same Pokemon Center. Afterwards, we see Professor Cerise, Chloe, Krissa, Ren, Professor Oak, Delia, Tracy, and all of Ash's Pokemon in Oak's lab representing Kanto. The battle continues as Dragon Rush collides with Heavy Slam, and that's the end for Dracovish, as Ash brings out his second Pokemon, Gengar. Gengar quickly attacks with Will-O-Wisp, afflicting Aggron with a burn status condition. This makes the Pokemon in Oak's lab, especially the Fire types, very much delighted. Aggron retaliates with Smart Strike, but it's not that big of a deal since the damage is now halved by the burn. They kept attacking, this time with Rock Tomb surrounding Gengar, but Dazzling Gleam was able to destroy the rocks and hit Aggron. Ash's Pokemon back home are so happy seeing Gengar win. Steven now sends out his Credilli and immediately goes for the offense with Power Whip. Gengar could hardly dodge the vines, perhaps because of the speed drop from Rock Tomb, and now Credilli has him trapped. Credilli proceeds with Ingrain, ensuring that it stays healthy as the battle goes on. Gengar tries using Sludge Bomb, but it seems Credilli is just gaining most of its health back. Credilli prepares for Meteor Beam as Ash decides to fight Light with Light and commands Gengar to use Dazzling Gleam. The two Light moves clash, covering the entire field of smoke, and this causes Gengar to be released from Credilli's vines. Gengar attacks with Shadow Ball, but Credilli smashes it with Power Whip, hitting Gengar multiple times and finishing it off in the process. Ash finally sends out his final Pokemon, Pikachu. Quick Attack takes the first hit, and as Credilli uses Rock Blast, Pikachu just does his old trick of hopping onto the rocks, evading all of them. Credilli takes his opportunity while Pikachu is in the air to use Power Whip, but Pikachu shackles its vines with his Electro Web. Now that Credilli is immobilized, Pikachu goes straight for the kill with an Iron Tail on its head. Until now, it's Pikachu vs Metagross, the battle that decides which trainer is going to move on to the semifinals. Steven grabs his Mega Stone and Mega Evolves his Metagross, and Pikachu tries to hit it with Thunderbolt, but it's way too fast and it easily dodges all of Pikachu's attacks. Mega Metagross then attacks with Meteor Mash, landing a direct hit on Pikachu. Pikachu tries to go for Iron Tail, but Mega Metagross dodges it again and knocks Pikachu down with Psychic. Seeing how Pikachu only has a little bit of energy left in its tank, it's now do or die for Ash. He throws Pikachu his hat, and together they unleash their powerful Z-move, 10 million volt Thunderbolt. Mega Metagross still manages to evade some of it and attacks with Flash Cannon, but the blue beam stops it, and the rest of the beams land on Mega Metagross too. Mega Metagross is down, but it's about to get up when Pikachu hits him with the final Iron Tail, and Metagross dead. With that, Ash moves on to the semifinals where he battles the champion he's been wanting to battle for a long time now, the Queen of Sinnoh, Cynthia. At the end of the episode, Steven, Iris, and Alon all bid their goodbyes to Ash and to the Masters 8 tournament. With Ash, Cynthia, Diantha, and Leon in the semifinals, who will emerge victorious and be crowned as this year's World Monarch? The Masters 8 first round has finally come to an end, and it didn't disappoint like any of the other battles. Could the battles have been better fleshed out and had better fluff around it? Yeah, but for what we did get, I was not in the slightest bit disappointed. Firstly, it was nice to see Iris taking Ash's place in the stands, and her interactions were all great throughout. I really loved her and Hop's vibe together, and the fact that she played Mother to Grookey. Hop is literally representative of a new viewer who's watching this battle and hasn't yet seen the anime beforehand. The battle itself was pretty good, but it did have really weird moments, like Dracovish absolutely doing nothing, and Mega Metagross not even knocking out one Pokemon. It was awesome to see Pikachu carry so hard and be the MVP of this battle with 2 knockouts, both ironically coming at the hands of Iron Tail. Maybe at the tails of Iron Hand makes better sense. The cameos this time just kind of get on my nerve, honestly. Like, yes, I'm very much salty that Harrison didn't appear, but they also even chucked in a bunch of random COTDs. On top of this, we had Morrison, who was a major rival at the end of his regional journey, but we only got a back shot of him. Not to mention the cameos feel more and more forced every episode. Like, why were all of these collection of trainers gathered at this spot to watch them? The very least they could have done was break it down into 3 frames, with each frame being at a different place. That just makes a lot more sense to me. Yes, we didn't get May and Max, and I'm sure that just like Sillin, we're going to be seeing him at the end in the final battle. With that being said, I'm going to be giving this episode a 1 out of 10. I mean, they didn't have Harrison in the cameo list, so that should have been obvious from the beginning. Okay, but on a serious note, I'm giving this episode a 9 out of 10. It was a great episode that would be a perfect standalone one. Ash's Z move was chef's kiss, and in general, it was just a good battle like I said. I will say that Ash surviving so many strong attacks while other trainers consistently get one shot or close to it is kind of weird, but this episode had great animation, and the OST was top notch as well. This was a great episode. Let's see what episode 119 has in store as we look at the preview trailer and make our predictions. It begins showing us Mr. Mime's new channel. They really be liking various media outlets over here. We just got the Rocket Radio episode not too long ago. This episode is probably going to be a pure filler episode, with us getting recapped all of the evolutions that Eevee has met in its journey. Since we know that episode 120 is set to be another Eevee focused episode, I think they're just going to be reintroducing us to the Eevee story with maybe a bit of unreleased stuff before finally concluding the story in episode 120. I honestly don't have much to say about this episode, but I'd be very surprised if it was good. So yeah, that was my review for Pokemon Journeys episode 118, as well as my predictions for episode 119. If you guys enjoyed it, I highly urge you to hit the like button and subscribe. I make episode reviews every week just a few hours after the episode airs, so if you enjoy these reviews right after the episode, you know where to come. Today's comment of the day is which of the first round of the Masters 8 battles were the best. I'm very curious to see who you guys pick, but I can safely assume that Ash vs Leon will probably be the least voted option, but the other 3 are pretty close to me. Again, if you made it this far into the video, I truly appreciate you, and as always, it's been your boy Luap, and I'm out. Peace.